Welcome one and all, whoever may be watching this. This will be part 6 or 7, I forget where I'm up to. Tides of Numenéra. We are solving a murder of some kind, or at least pretending to solve a murder because we are looking for the person who did the murdering. And I don't know if there's going to be a conflict of interest here.
Yes, now.
Not much remains of Fulsom's former protege beyond a vast still pool of blood with a skinned hand at its center. A bloody circle is scrawled on the wall nearby. Inspect the hand. A flayed hand with long, slender fingers lies palm up in the center of the pool of blood. The rest of the victim is missing.
I'll remember that.
Okay. Examine the circle on the wall. You study the dashes and bleeding pinpricks binding the circle. These aren't symbols in any known human tongue, but you sense their purpose. The circle is almost inconsequential. These sigils gripped the shape of it and pushed it through time and space. This was, however briefly, a trans-dimensional portal to another place. Now it is dead. See, my take on this is that his protege isn't actually dead. He got sucked through the portal and his hand got cut off. And now there's just, blood and jank everywhere. Because as we all know, hands, they just bleed. Especially when they've been separated from a body. Before you look away from the circle, a memory bulges painfully through your thoughts, and the memory isn't yours. Alright, let's surrender. Fresh blood streams over the circle, yanking you through the hollow at its center into the world beyond. A strip of blistered land coils through a void as black as a gaping mouth. The air is thick, foul, and textured with the slickness of maggots. Nausea slams into you, filling your head, infecting your thoughts. Hey! You shove the horrific memory away from you, slamming your mind shut like a door and swallowing the knot of nausea in your throat. After seeing that world, the bloody pool at your feet seems almost mundane. Okay, so I only took 2 damage. Still, ouchies. Okay, so he directed us towards someone, but I forget their name. So-called White Death. He asked me to question her. He isn't sure where she is. But a mutant called Mappa might know. Hello.
Yes.
Convenient that you're so close by. From a distance, it looks as if this mutant is wearing a form-fitting suit with finely patterned lines in white, yellow, and pale blue. On closer examination, it becomes apparent that these are tattoos, and they cover nearly the entirety of his body, even his shaved head. His actual clothes are simple and worn, and his boots look as though they've seen hard use. He is studying the meaningless swells and wells on his arms and mouthing names that mean nothing to you. Solvi, Belint, Ergo, Tentries. When he looks up at you, you see that a strange device covers one of his eyes. A deep blue light shines in its center, and it seems to measure and evaluate you as he focuses on you. I think he's a Borg. He smiles as you approach, a broad, beaming grin that says he considers you a friend already. Mappa, he says, extending his hand. A new face. New faces mean new places. I've been everywhere around here. I've found my way into places long sealed and best forgotten, met all sorts of people. He frowns. Can't say I've cared much for some of them, it's true. His voice is fast, insistent, and incisive. Still, I try. The communities of our world are islands of light. Sometimes they wink out and sometimes they flare up. I want to link them together. I want to be a bridge. You say you want to be a bridge. How do you even do that? He shrugs, a faint smile on his lips. I travel, I see places. I map them out on my skin, and maybe inside me. I don't know. I mean, the lines change when I look, and they've got to be stored someplace, right? He scratches his bald head, the lines flow under his fingers. I just need to collect places. I need to know that I've done something. Making maps is all I know. It's all I want to know. Where did you get all those tattoos? These? These are not tattoos. They're maps. He exposes a shiny grin. Maps of places I've been or heard of. He covers the artificial eye with his hand and says, if I look at my skin like this, it's meaningless. Then he uncovers it and says, but look at it like this suddenly. I see the map springing up off my skin. I focus on it and it all comes clear. Buildings, people, smells, even a route to get there. It's worthless to anyone else, of course, without me to interpret the map. It's a combination of my mutation and the lens. Finding the eyepiece was the best part of being born like this. He sighs contently. It made me feel like my life made sense at last, and that, my friend, is far more luck than anyone deserves. I'm looking for a woman named Makina. Do you know where I could find her?
I'll remember that.
Makina? The White Death? I've heard of her. I know where she hides too. He grins wide, exposing a mouthful of extraordinary white and clean teeth. I can tell you where she is, but I hate to say it comes with a price. Much as I love to talk about my travels, I need to finish a patch of my Sagas Cliffs map, and I need bragging rights for the next time I see the navigators. He shrugs. Also, she might not be happy I've told you. But I might be able to help you find it. For a trade, of course. He drops his voice. Have you ever heard of the Changing God? Savior of Sagas Cliffs in times past and so forth? They say he had a sanctuary under the city, a place he used to retreat to and plan for the future while he thought on his past. You know, making possibility maps. That sanctuary is the one important place I haven't seen in Sagas Cliffs, and I need to find it to fill my map. As far as I can tell, it's not far past the Strickcar lair. The problem I'm having is that I just can't make any sense of their language. Maybe you could talk to them. He shrugs disarmingly. It's a hell of a price, I know, but there it is. You want to find Makina? You'll find me the sanctuary. Is there some other way into the sanctuary besides the Strickcar lair? He sighs, exasperated. There must be. Changing God wasn't the kind of person who'd just put one entrance into the place, but I haven't been able to find the back door for the life of me. I'll be back when I found you the sanctuary. Right, so in a typical fantasy story style, in order to get our main quest progressed, we have to help 50 million other people. And look, that's fine. I'm okay with this. Okay, so we've got all these places around here. I haven't fully explored up in this corner, not that I can show you. I also haven't explored down here. It's kind of odd that they don't let me select anywhere on the map.
It's a plan. Yes.
Oh, hello, that's where I want to go.
Let's do it.
Oh, see, this is where I want to rest, because if I could get my intellect back up... But it's just a matter of where could I do that? Can I just rest here? Do I actually have to find somewhere? I might just make a sneaky detour to the government district and just see what's around there. I'm not exactly sure how resting works in this game.
Go.
Oh, this poor robot. Maybe I should talk to people here. Up, up and away!
My friend, Orthfong at the Order of Truth, was looking into something for me. I'd like to stop by there. Problem is, most of the priests and I don't get along too well. They might not want to talk to me.
Why won't they want to talk to you? Like I said, we don't get along, probably because I called them out on their timidity and their bowing and scraping to the slave families. But hells, maybe they've forgotten. Frauds, all of them. They care more about advancement than actually helping anyone. Alright, I'll ask them. I mean, it's probably not a bad thing to explore anyways.
All right.
There is definitely a lot going on. But I'm going to assume still no places to rest.
Yes.
Ooh, aliens. Let's talk to Ayin, who knows. For no reason in particular. The woman's expression defies easy definition. It is cool and professional, but focused, interested. She nods at you and clasps her hands. I haven't seen you here before, she says, her voice oddly muted. Before we begin, you should understand where we are. She gestures to one of the plant-like structures nearby. This is the Red Thicket. No one can listen in on our conversation here. You can only hear me because I am speaking to you directly. One of her eyebrows arches suddenly. You're trying to scan my thoughts. You won't find anything in my mind, of course. If I could be undone by so simple a trick, I'd be out of business. She flicks the air near her shoulder, though nothing is there. It's a useful skill nonetheless. People's best secrets are rarely found on the surface, but their thoughts can guide you if you listen. I expect you and I will have much to talk about. Have you come to trade? Trade what? I am a knowledge broker, she says, a hunter of information. Come to me with questions, and if I have answers, I will trade them. She straightens further and blinks once, managing to make the simple action look as though it was planned in advance. My pricing is simple, a secret for a secret. The only condition is that it must be one I do not already know, and I should warn you that I know a great deal. How do I know you won't claim to know a secret you've never heard before? A fair question. If she is offended, she doesn't show it. But I don't bother with assurances. You can either judge my honesty yourself or take your business elsewhere. What's the catch? Well spotted, she says. There is one, of course, but it is hardly unexpected. Anything you choose to tell me will of course be traded to others in due time. A rare, slight smile graces her lips. In short, if you wish to keep something a secret, don't tell it to me. Farewell? Alright, good to know, I guess, if we come across any juicy secrets of some kind. She's the person to talk to, I guess.
On it.
Oh, hello, what's this?
Fine.
Some kind of weird portal situation? Yep, so we're going to examine the device. The generator combines a huge number of mismatched parts into a functional whole. Once again, you notice the circonate symbol etched into the side like a marker's mark. I guess look through the orbiting holes in space? You step too close and one of the anomalies hisses past your hip like a disc made of razors. One of your pouches feels heavier. It seems the anomaly has left you a present. I got a cube! I'm just collecting so many things. Okay, what if I use the item? The translucent panes spin behind the smooth glass of this cube, often defying the dimensions containing them. You catch glimpses of various objects or scenes contained within. You clear your throat involuntarily, and the pace of the spinning goes even faster, as though the cube were waiting for you to speak or ask a question. Why is the sorrow hunting me? The spinning panes within the cube slow, then halt entirely, revealing a single image at the center of the cube. A long purple vegetable of some kind, sliced lengthways to reveal orange seeds. The object fades particle by particle with no further explanation. You've either received the exact answer to your question through an idiom you have no hope of grasping, or the cube completely misunderstood you. We're just going to put that away for a hot second. Okay, so, yep. Let's examine the archway. It appears to be dormant, but very much alive. The archway emits a low and constant hum, just at the edge of your hearing. Across the top, illuminated words are inscribed. The House of Empty Time. Heavy rope-like cables connect the archway to the strange generator nearby. Not as impressive as it looks, mutters Allergan. The real work is being done by the generator here. He points to the ancient device that's connected to the archway by a number of cables. Someone channeled the temporal energies to achieve some purpose of their own. It's a hack job. Must have been an Aeon priest. He grins wickedly. Allergan, have you studied this archway before? Once or twice, years ago. It was here long before I came to Sagus. Used to hear stories about children disappearing when they walked under the arch, but I never saw it happen myself. I mean, if I try to activate it, what will happen? You scan the parts of the arch that are accessible from the ground, but you don't see anything that resembles a control device. Finally, you give up your search. If the arch can be activated at all, the method is unclear. Perhaps it could only be activated by the words of its creator, or someone designated by that person. Such things are not unknown in the Ninth World. Interesting.
Yes.
I kind of like the sci-fi elements in this fantasy. Is that our good friend Quoro? Hold on, I'm just gonna save for a hot second. Buddy! Why are you so rude? Let's talk to your friend. You recognize one of the parties in this one-sided argument. Quoro, the Starseeker you met in the reef. He studies his boots, silent and miserable. The other is a tall woman in finely cut robes, regarding the man with arch disdain. When I told you to retrieve the falling star, I wonder if you heard, "Return to me empty hands and excuses," she sighs. I no longer need your services, Quoro. Collect your things and go. What? No, Salamary, I searched the reef for hours. Whatever fell was long gone by the time we got there. And that is why you are unsuited for this work. She massages her eyes. Honestly, I don't know what I expected. I saw promise in you, but also flaws, and I ignored them. She spots you out of the corner of her eye and turns to you, framing a sharp rebuke at your intrusion. Her anger turns to stark amazement when she sees your face. Adan! I haven't seen you in 10 years. 10 years. I cannot begin to imagine what your excuse might be. Our last night together was so incredible. What could possibly have driven her off? I am not Adan. She blinks once, twice. A smile blooms. You're a cast-off, she murmurs, studying you from head to foot with an appraising and somewhat proprietary eye. Remarkable. This is rather like visiting a house you once owned and seeing new tenants through the windows. I've met members of your little family before, of course, trailing around in that shadow, looking for clues or trying to repair the damage. Her smile is genuine and somewhat sad. Her eyes linger on yours as if looking for any flash of recognition. I can help you if you like, but I need something from you first. Yeah, of course. I'll think it over. Do that, she says, then growls woofishly. And tell me when the answer is yes. Have you seen a priest named Orthfong? Not recently, she says. Min may know where he is, however. She turns her attention to Allegan. Amazing, she says. First you wander about in Adan's shadow, and now you're trailing after his cast-offs. It's a wonder you've ever found time to be an Aeon priest. She affects a pained expression. Oh, my apologies. You quit, didn't you? I keep forgetting. I'm surprised you even know what an Aeon priest is, Allegan growls. The Order of the Truth is supposed to share knowledge. You hide it. And with good reason, she says smoothly. The Order is full of spies, cutthroats, and idiots, none of them worth the risk. I'm trying to repair something called a resonance chamber. That contraption, she says. I'd be delighted to help, as I was before, but I'll need you to do a little favor for me first. Enter the anechoic lazaret and make it safe for me to resume my work there. She lowers her voice. If you seek assistance from the others in the Order, do be careful. I suspect one of them is an informant for the Memavira. Too many of our finds have been pillaged by her thugs. Hold on, you think there's a spy in the Order of Truth? Almost certainly, she says, losing interest. But I let Min worry about that. Spies aren't a problem if you never share your secrets. Let's talk about that favor you want. Of course. She draws her attention to a map of the reef of fallen worlds on her workstation and taps a gilded, ornate structure not far from the dome containing the resonance chamber. This is the anechoic lazaret. It has been hopelessly sealed since the dawn of the 9th world until, she smiles, I managed it in a week or two. It was quite simple once you figured out the trick. I've been slipping in and out at nights, investigating the technologies within, taking notes. She frowns. Then more recently, I discovered that the structure was sealed again. Remain silent. I believe someone tramped inside with no regard for the dangers and managed to trigger a failsafe that sealed the structure. She flicks a strand of hair from her eyes. I need someone to reopen the lazaret and, she waves a vague hand, handle whatever nonsense the trespassers have stirred up in their wake. Why me? Simple, she says. You're a cast-off. All of you were made to be useful in some way or another. All of you are, at minimum, competent. In short, you're better than any of the draft I have at hand. Besides, I can reopen the structure. The concern is what's waiting for me inside. She holds your gaze for a moment to make sure you understand. I want you to deal with whatever's gone wrong in there so I can resume my work. Needless to say, I would also prefer the structure in an undamaged state as I left it. She smooths her robe. Well, there it is. Will you help? I will if I have the time.
Updated my journal.
Of course, she says smoothly, but disappointment flashes across her face. She hands you a metallic stalk with flower-like ridges along its length and a mechanical eye at one end. This, as you likely know, is the Eye of Moloch's, and how I originally accessed the structure. The fact that the lazarette recognizes this organ as an authorized user implies that its builders were machine intelligences, maybe a machine civilization, from before the dawn of the Ninth World. She smiles, brushing off her hands. Well, on your way. Do watch your step in the reef. It can be quite dangerous. Please, Salamary, Quaro says, edging in beside you. Give me another chance. I can handle this. I have to win her back. Her respect, I mean. Right, her respect. I'm gonna say nothing. She says, looking between the two of you. Salamary considers you both, then sorts through her work table, picking up a metallic eye. You're welcome to try, Quaro, she says. She hands the eye over but holds it when he tries to take it. This is your last chance, she says. If you come back empty-handed, you had better be dead as well. Trembling, Quaro pockets the eye and leaves, eyes downcast. I'll prove myself to her, then she'll see me as more than just a mercenary.